Hey guys, Scorpison here. Today we're going to be reviewing the Pagan Tarot by Gina M. Pace Weiss. For illustrations, we got Luca Raimondo, with colors Cristiano Spadoni. This is all published by Lo Scarabeo. This deck is unique. I do have a few choice words I'd like to say, so without further ado, let's get into it. The Pagan Tarot is a blend of contemporary life and ancient pagan traditions. This deck was designed to bridge the modern world with Wiccan practices and spirituality into one. For illustrations done by Luca Raimondo, they really infuse each card with a balance of realistic but also mystical imagery. Spadoni's colors work is lush and breathtaking, and it makes the setbacks of this deck an easy compromise for the quality of the art you're getting ultimately. Alright, let's talk about the box quality here. I'm starting to think that Lo Scarabeo is really good at dropping the ball when it comes to decks that deserve a lot better quality. It's made out of the same materials as the ancient Italian tarot from my last video, if you're familiar. So honestly, treat it with caution, guys. Get a cloth. This box won't last you. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of damage there. I have sort of delved a little bit into the deck. I've had to reorganize it for this video. So you will see a little bit of imperfections on the manual and everything else from constantly taking it out and putting it back in. I do appreciate the manual itself. For anyone a little bit less familiar with the RWS or the tarot, however you want to call it, honestly, it offers at least basic explanations in different languages, so I appreciate that. Now, I have to say, the back of the cards, it really doesn't do the artwork or what the original artist had intended on, like, the actual Pagan Tarot artwork. There's something so lush and mystical about their artwork. This is sort of overshadowed in a way. It's such a different art style. It's such a different approach that I don't really connect with the back of the cards. It's just the front of the cards that really did it for me. I really don't like this. That's what I'm basically trying to say. In terms of the actual thinness and thickness of the cards, they're pretty thin. So if you're into more daily intensive readings, I would, yeah, definitely get that cloth. Definitely maybe put in somewhere safe, like those storage containers for cards or whatever you got, honestly. It just needs a little bit better protection than the box. All right, let's do a quick flip through of the major arcanas, starting with the Fool, or in this deck, the Seeker. She is on a journey that reflects real-life experiences mixed with personal and spiritual growth. You can see how Raimondo's art style adds a reliable modern twist to the classic archetype. It's honestly like walking into the abyss, the unknown, uncertain of your journey, but blindingly brave nonetheless. Not brave, but that childlike innocence and wonder that the Fool ultimately represents. I honestly just love what they did with the Fool. This modern seeker, it's a little darker than the RWS, but it's captivating nonetheless. I also like the addition of the white cat treading cautiously with its owner. You don't get the same air of mystery that you would with the dog than you do with the cat. Here you see the magician demonstrating her potential to channel the forces, create, manifest, and ultimately achieve her goals. She is both within us, but also a teacher you can meet. It's almost like the person that she meets at the end of this abyss, the start of her journey. It sort of follows a tale for me. I consider her kind of ever present in the cards, like being there with the magician to even being part of this group in the high priestess. Now, a little segue here, the high priestess got me. It's thought-provoking. Whatever is being preached here, it almost gives me the same feeling I would get from from the wheel card, that understanding of a greater wheel of flow, but also the intuition and wisdom that the high priestess ultimately represents. It's amazing. It's that same girl from the beginning. I consider her, like, after this experience, going back home, seeing her mother, realizing that this is just an ancestral bond that she has now assumed. I really love the artwork. I love the child edition there. They really hit the ball on this, guys. Now the Emperor, really different. It's like the structure created by the emperor rather than the emperor himself. It shows the ability to create order from chaos. And like this one shocked me a bit when I saw it. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a little bit of time to figure it out, but I ultimately believe that it's the world that the emperor has created rather than the emperor himself, which is interesting. Now the lovers, I have to say, like, that was the Hierophant. This one I'm still trying to define myself. That's why I sort of haven't gotten anything much to say on this. The lovers, though, I got lots to say. You can kind of pick up more meaning from this card, honestly. Like, if it's just me, let me know. It reminds me of the Tower for some reason. The shedding of an old life for a greater connection, for a greater purpose. But at the same time, it also reminds me of the Two of Swords, that choice between coven, family, and what is going to be the one of least priority. Which road gives you the most fulfillment in your life is really the question. And you don't get that from the original lovers. You more just see that united, and like it's just, you get a lot more from this. You can really start to see the modern additions around the chariot, but if you look closer, you see this coffin she's bringing with her. It's almost like that brooding reminder that no matter how far your journey goes, there will be an end to it ultimately. It's like an ode to Carpe Diem, to live life to the fullest, you know? Strength is honestly my favorite card. They didn't have to do all this, guys. It's lush, and the variety of animals, the serene look on her face, it's extreme. It's special. The Hermit too, guys. They really hit the ball. Intense study into witchcraft is essentially the exploration of self on a spiritual level. You can call it shadow work or something, but you can see she's completely acknowledged this inner vastness within her, and she's so much so that she's actively seeking answers from within. The wheel, cycles, circles, fate, justice of karma, and balance. Honestly, the Hanged Man and Death for me, they should, like, they're showing this initiation of the witch. It's almost as if these arcanas tell their own story while following the traditional RWS at the same time. It does seem that there was more thought put into this deck than you would find in most. Honestly, Temperance just for honestly, even the Devil, very thought-provoking. It's not what you would expect to see when you look at the Devil, but now that you think of it, at least I've always defined the upright version of this card as just desire in its purest form. I only start considering it greed and evil when it's flipped over like this. So seeing this, it's almost like a yearning. She's writing things into existence because she desires it. It's that celebration of desire for me that allows me to connect with this card. Now, there's a little bit of nudity, guys, but what I honestly find is that with this deck, it's almost like she gets initiated into a coven. But what she realizes is that this coven is a cult, and she realizes that in order to find her true power, she must carve her own path. I feel like this is where she realizes it in the Star, where she reignites that hope that she originally began growing when she first got into witchcraft. The moon, this solitary training, but this ever presence, this ever awareness as well for me. The sun, a very big turn of events from what you would expect, because it only delves into modern aspects. Doesn't do it every single card, but when it does, it really, you take a step back a little bit. Judgment, this call to remember her past life, and like, I'm assuming what would be the Salem witch trials. And then the universe. I really like this because in a different deck, the Oracle of the Witch, they actually went out and they defined the animal, the spirit animals of the different elements. I didn't even know that they had them before. So I like that this deck has really included the gnome, the fairy, the salamander, and like it's just, there's a lot of things they didn't have to do, and whatever things I don't like about this deck, I am totally willing to compromise, because they really did good with this, guys. This is a powerful deck. I've done some readings with it. It's the insight that you get from her is just beautiful. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap up the video here and segue to the flip through. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Is this deck calling out to you? Do you prefer more traditional tarot styles? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tarot reviews and magical insights. Stay mystical, my friends. Till next time.